It's recording. Hey everyone, it's Lawrence Mack here. I'm with four awesome other realtors, and we're just going to just chit chat about how things are going currently with the COVID situation and other ideas about how to help each other in terms of issues you might have. As a quick introduction, I'm Lawrence Mack. I'm out of Mississauga, Ontario. Netta?
I'm Neda Bolak from London, Ontario.
And Jason?
I forgot to unmute. I'm Jason Steele from Saugeen Shores, Ontario.
All right, and Melissa?
Yeah, I'm Melissa Charlton from the Charlton Advantage team in Milton, Ontario.
And Katie?
And I'm Katie Steinfeld from On the Block Realty in Vaughan, Ontario.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. So I'm just going to start off just curious how everything's going with the situation now. I think we're around week 4-ish of the quarantine. For myself, when we started this process, I had 3 listings on the go, and then all 3 of them were suspended, and all my buyers were suspended. I think that was for the best. One of my sellers really wanted to sell, but I'm like, if it's not essential, I honestly don't recommend doing it. But obviously, if they really want to sell, I'll help them. But we eventually decided to just suspend. So just curious how everything's going in terms of you guys.
I'll go first.
Free for all, whatever.
So actually, I don't know, I'm assuming we're going to get into that as well, how everyone's market is, but London, it's slowed down, but it hasn't slowed down as much as people would have expected it to. So we are even in finishing week 4, we're still seeing homes going from active to sold. We're seeing about half and half, active to conditional and then active to sold. So that's pretty interesting that there's still people buying unconditional and having multiple offers. Otherwise, why would they be going from active to sold? So personally, as far as I'm concerned, I had just actually cleared my plate with the listings, and I got somebody contacting me saying, I need to sell. Their situation was that they actually had to move by the end of April. So 2 weeks ago, we had a conversation and we figured we need to hit the market. Otherwise, they're going to be left with 2 properties. So taking advantage of the technology has been key. For this one, I also didn't do my normal video, which I would go on camera and talk and explain things about the property. Cut that one off, and we just did more of a thorough video of the property so that people can see everything, all the nooks and crannies and storage room and furnace room and everything. And then I personally did a video walkthrough of the property myself, explaining things. So I just grabbed my phone and went through and posted that on social media. We got lucky with that one. Day 1 offer sold, which is fantastic. Lucky. But then on the other end, all the buyers pretty much have put their purchases on hold. I had 2 buyers who again had to buy because they were medical residents. So they needed to make a purchase so that they can start their residency in June. One of them, I ended up selling a property through FaceTime. And the second one, they came down, they saw a few homes. Everyone is taking all the precautions. So there's hand sanitizers, there's wipes. When we go in, I tell them, don't touch anything. I already sanitized my hands, so I'm gonna open the doors and the closets and the cupboards. And going out, I lock, put things back in, sanitize the lockbox, and off we go. So it's been interesting. But things are happening, things are still moving. That's me.
Very good.
Cameron?
All right, I'll go next then, I guess. Saugeen Shores, kind of like London, we're in a bit of our own microeconomy up here. We have Bruce Power, nuclear power plant. And for years, everybody thought, realtor speaking, that we're safe, we're in a bubble. We have Bruce Power, and nothing can affect Bruce Power. And well, guess what? They've just laid off half their workforce there, told them not to come to work because a lot of them are from the city. They reside in the COVID hotspots, if you will, and then they come up here 4 days out of the week to work. So of course, Bruce Power has said, no, it's not happening. And, you know, some of you work from home, the rest of you are laid off. So yeah, I mean, it's affected our economy up here. I'm currently staying active. I'm doing a lot of these virtual showings. I've started using, well, I haven't started, I started in January, using an app called QuickPage, and it allows me to do a full feature listing, virtual listing, not just video, not just pictures, but everything. I can, you know, add the zoning maps, and I don't know if anyone else here is using. I think Lawrence, you started trying it. Works really well. I'm not pitching it. I'm just saying what I'm doing, and it's worked really well. And it's a forum that I can use as my virtual live stream for the new CREA open house feature as well, because you can chat instantly with the consumer on the site. So it makes it a live stream, and it's worked out well too. I'm averaging, you know, at this point for March and part of April, we have 4 or 5 deals together. So, you know, it's still trickling in. I'm not going to have a 0 year. I know that, because I'm working hard and staying top of mind. A lot of community pages where people are reaching out asking me if I'd list their property, and we go through a process too. I'm not just going to list for somebody that wants to test the market, or somebody's, you know, fearing that the sky is going to fall on the market. And I've sold to a Department of Defense. I've sold to a EMT. You know, as far as listings go, I have a divorce, and I have an estate and a vacant. So, I mean, these are all necessary ones to do. So keeping it safe, doing the best I can, and staying away from the negativity on Facebook.
Awesome. Cool. So I guess I'll go. So things have changed a lot, obviously. The first thing that, you know, we did kind of what everyone did, like what's essential, who is basically has to sell or is going to be homeless if they don't buy. So those are the only people that we really concentrated on in terms of getting them to deal. We were able to sell one of our listings firm without the buyers even walking into the property. It was just an agent taking them through FaceTime. So that's something we had never done before, right? We've had a couple of our listings go into conditional. We've actually done virtual buyer consultations and had paperwork signed. Our team has had some success with those. Clearly, we're not going out and showing them homes, but at least when it's safe to do so, you know, our agents on our team will have something in their pipeline that they can work with. Aside from that, we did our first ever virtual buyer class. So we used to do buyer seminars in our team headquarters, and now we moved that online, which was something different. So although things have really changed, it's kind of an opportunity to be innovative. And I think that, you know, some of these things we may keep on moving forward.
That's great. Yeah, same here. I mean, in Vaughan, things have really slowed down. In terms of our brokerage, again, we're just focusing on the people that really need to sell or really need to buy right now. We've had a few lease properties, and I find the really, as Neda was saying, the just your own videos versus the professional ones really help people to really see what the property is all about. Those professional ones, just, you know, people wonder if there's something that people are trying to hide. So I find I just went on TikTok of all things and put a video together, and the response from that was amazing. And we were able to lease a few of our listings just through those videos, because it shows everything about the unit. We're not hiding anything. And it gives people a really good sense of the layout and how it all flows together, because you're literally walking in from the front door all the way through the house like you would through a showing, where I find those professional videos tend to just kind of do it more piecemeal and it's not as natural. So just thinking ahead to once we get back to normal, hopefully sooner rather than later, I'm going to take a more serious look at obviously making it a little bit more professional from my end, but just the idea of making those videos a lot more natural feeling for clients and potential buyers.
I still think that's professional in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
The other videos, I kind of label them as fluff, you know, fluffery, and I don't need to see the picture of a realtor standing in a poor boy hat with his arms crossed. You know, sell your listing, not yourself. And and going back to you said TikTok, are you doing like a plank challenge to sell the house, or like how are you using
Oh.
TikTok?
No, I mean, I just started getting into it and it was more just for fun, but I
Oh,
found
okay.
that TikTok, at least it's so simple to use, and to piece together different parts of a video is seamless, and you can do it to music, you can make it really fun. So I've just done a couple like that. The others have been stupid dances and things with my family that have nothing to do with real estate, but just kind of getting to know the platform has been fun to do.
Those are the best videos. People want to see your family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get the house.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's been super interesting about, you know, the walkthrough videos versus the professional videos. So with our team, with every property that we're listing right now, we always have a property website. And with that customized website, we have our professional video, which we always did, the pictures, the description, we have Matterport, and the agent walkthrough video. And what I found shocking was the agent walkthrough video is getting like double the amount of views as our professional expensive one that, you know, we have been doing before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I found that, and I had always done my own video, always a walkthrough tour, either with my cell phone or my GoPro. And you know, one day I had a client ask me if I'd hire a professional. I thought, all right, you know, I did it. And it was a guy out of Barrie. He came and he did it, and $1 million property. Video looked all right, but it wasn't a full featured video. It was pan shots, and it was it wasn't, you know. Now what I'm doing, I'm going through shooting my video like I'm the buyer. Obviously people are doing virtual, right? And so I'm going through and I'm taking my GoPro, I'm putting it under the sink, I'm showing the plumbing, and I'm showing the wiring in the panel, and getting as detailed as if there's a scratch in the wall. I'm showing it because these people are buying sight unseen, and the first person they're going to, of course, point to, I didn't know there was a spot on the carpet, is the realtor, right? Because he didn't show them that. So yeah, mine have been, you know, 16, 20-minute videos where the norm was 1 to 3 minutes or you're going to lose interest, right? Well, you're not losing interest now because they're watching beginning to end.
Exactly. And I find that saves also potential buyers going through and knowing that they're not interested. Like I've had a few people that have just contacted me through realtor.ca, and I just sent them the video and they're like, okay, you know what? I'm not interested. I didn't realize the living space was that small. I'm like, perfect. I didn't want to meet you anyway. So it all works out.
All right, that's good. So I'm going to switch over to speaker view. I wanted to go through different question I had in terms of, I don't know why it's not switching.
Because you're recording, that's why.
Yeah.
Because I'm recording, does it not show me? I have no idea. Anyway.
Nothing's gonna work.
So the main question I had was regarding just work-life balance. I've found in the past few weeks, I haven't really been that efficient at all. You know, my typical schedule in the morning, I'm doing like homework and teaching and stuff, like 9 till 11, then it's lunchtime, get a couple hours of work done, and then it's dinner time, and then family time, and then I'm asleep, right? Like, I don't know. Any suggestions on how to improve that?
Okay, I have a strong opinion on this. I think people are being way too hard on themselves. Like, seriously, like, are you seriously going to expect to have the same schedule you had before when now you're responsible for homeschooling your children for, you know, 4 hours a day on top of keeping them entertained, you know, keeping your own sanity, cleaning your house, like all these things that were leveraged out before? You can't do that anymore. So I think that, like, for me, my whole thing has been just what's the one thing you can do today to move your business forward? And if that takes you 1 hour or 6 hours, don't be so hard on yourself.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, no, I mean, I've caught myself a few times, like almost wanting to be in tears because like, I'm like, how do I teach my daughter about money? Like of all the things, like they're like, I don't even understand how to do it. Like adding simple things. I mean, I know I'm not a teacher, but I'm like, I should be able to do this. So just being very forgiving. And as Melissa said, just focusing on that one thing. And my personalities, I tend to bounce from one thing to another, but the only thing that's been working for me is like, this is my one project, and however long it takes me, that's cool, but that's all I'm focusing on. I'm not moving on to other things in my business because I can't. My brain is going to explode. So I find that simple is better at this point.
Well, and remember too that when when things were normal, your 7 to 10, 12-hour day involved a multitude of things away from the office, in the car, out of the car, into the house, out of that, like you're doing different things. When you're at home, there's at a home office, there's one thing, and you're parking on it. And if you're there for more than 40, 50 minutes at a time, you're not doing yourself any good. And your actual work day, in my opinion, right now should be maybe 2-3 hours, and spend the rest of the time doing other things, family things, game things, exercise, whatever. Like, you can't expect to get an 8-hour day of work in right now. Like, it's impossible. You'll go stir crazy.
Yep.
I was gonna say the first week that the online schooling started, so last week, that was actually probably the most stressful week, because trying to get the kids on the computer, figure out how to sign in, where to go, what to do, and then on top of that, do the homework and then submit all the homework. So this is the part that I guess we're all struggling with, that now we're teachers, we are parents, we are spouses, we are working parents. So all of this, it weighs down on you. And last week, I won't lie, I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna do all of this? So, but also, your spouses are in the same shoes, and you can't, he works full time from home now, but then he has to take the time to do the things with the kids, because my kids go to French school, and my husband is the French speaking person in our household. So he's super stressed out, and I'm like stressed out because I can't help with the schoolwork. So still trying to work out some sort of a balance where I'm not saying, oh, I got to do this, and he's like, but I got to do this, and the kids are like, we have a school. So it's definitely challenging. Good point to bring up, Lawrence. And I don't think we really have an answer to how to balance it out. The best thing is what Melissa said, to just don't be too hard on yourselves.
Yeah.
When you feel it building up, walk away.
Yes.
No, it's true. It's true what you said there, Jason. I guess I don't really think about how much I actually transition in terms of driving down the 401 or getting in the car, out of the car, preparing, all that kind of stuff. It is time. And now I don't have that extra transitional time, which I think is great. So
yeah, there's no 6 restaurants in a day for you now, right?
Yeah, I know. So, it's, yeah, but Jason, you don't have any kids that you got to deal with at your house, right?
Not at home, no.
So do you find that you get more work done out of curiosity?
No, because you're FaceTiming with them, you're interacting, and again, I'm trying not to be in front of the screen, even with these Zoom calls. Like I'm signing up for all of them and maybe watching the recordings later, and we'll only participate and be active in maybe 1-2 at the most in a day, because again, that's screen time, and that's the thing we're trying to keep our kids away from, and here we are doing it. So it's balance. I mean, when you're ready to walk away, walk away.
I was going to say something about not also worrying about what happens at home. I did a virtual listing presentation, and while I was doing it, one of my kids walked in. I'm like, oh, come and say hi. So he came into the view of the camera, and he said hi. I'm like, this is Keon, and he waved, and I'm like, okay, did you have a question? No, I just wanted to say hi. Great, off you go. And the sellers were like, oh, that's so cute, that's so cute. I'm like, yeah, you know what? We're all human. It's gonna happen. And that's the one thing I'm like, I was gonna tell you guys before we started, I might have a child walking in at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So not stressing about that anymore.
No.
At least you're nice. I turn into a monster. I'm like, get out of the room. I like lose my mind. But anyways, a point I wanted to make, I think like as an industry, the biggest complaint I hear the realtors have is, I don't have time to work on my business. I don't have time to work on my business. Well, now's the time. Now's the time to get to those projects and do those things that you never had time to do before. And so, I mean, there is some opportunity here.
For
you know,
sure.
make the best of the situation.
Definitely.
Great. All right, well, let's go on to the next question. Neda,
Yeah.
any particular issue you'd, or question you have for the group?
Particular issues. Honestly, the one thing is a lot of people right off the bat when this the emergency was announced decided, oh, we're going to put the business on hold completely. And visually, it seemed like some people are, and then visually, it seemed like a lot of people are going as if nothing has happened and business as usual. So a lot of judgment is out there from other realtors, actually. And like I definitely have slowed down, but at the same time, I'm not going from house to house and listing this and listing that and showing tons of properties. Definitely, it's on a you must buy or you must sell basis. But the challenge is not everyone knows that. And this is where, like, how do you get this out to the public? And the public is the other one that, yeah, like, don't judge. Don't judge. This is a necessity. And I feel that I need to put it in my, like, once I sell something, I always advertise it, it's sold, but then I'm writing down, you know, we don't know everyone's situation. Some people must sell, some people must buy. And we're so happy that these sellers were able to sell their home just in time for them to move into their next home.
I don't think you can stop people from judging. Like, people are going to judge. That's just the thing. I mean, when this whole thing went down, Chuck put out a video basically saying exactly what you're saying, that, you know, we feel conflicted. And, you know, but the point is that we have to help these people. Like, they could be homeless if we don't help them, and they have nowhere to go. You know, some people would be financially devastated if they didn't sell, and we're doing the best in the market. And a lot of realtors had a positive response, and some people messaged us and said, shut it down. Well, all you can do is do you. You know, people are going to judge. I know a lot of people are concerned about their brand and the public perception, but you just got to do the best you can. I think communicating exactly to your point, why you're doing what you're doing, how you're maintaining precautions, and how you have altered your business. You know, you're not just business as usual. That's all you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same thing as well. Like, you don't really know everyone's situation, right? So it's like a value judgment. Everyone's like, oh yeah, they have to sell because they bought a house. Okay, fine. Like, okay, those guys are okay, but the other guys that are 2 mortgage payments away, like, those are not okay. And then, you know, everyone's just really judgmental. And I just wish people wouldn't be as judgmental, because you don't really know everyone's situation, right? So just let people do what they have to do safely and move on, right? I don't know.
Yeah, we're not all painted with the same brushstroke, right? And that's what people have to realize to move forward. I mean, you can do things easy enough, like leave a Facebook group. I did that because I was tired of the negativity. You know, we had a realtor here in Owen Sound put a radio ad out saying, hey, I'm protecting the public. I'm not listing any properties anymore. I'm not like other realtors. And I thought, that's pretty cold. That's low. So I took probably half the money he spent on radio to tell people he's not working. How is that for an investment, right? Spend money to tell people you're not working. And I did a Facebook ad, targeted his farm area, which happens to be one of my areas too, saying how I am working and I'm doing it for the best interest of my clients. I didn't say I'm not doing what other realtors, I didn't target other realtors. I just said what I'm doing and did it in a positive way. Like, you know, people are painting us all with the same brushstroke, and it's not right. But what can you do? You just keep moving forward.
Yeah, everybody's going to have a different opinion. And I think the ones that have an opinion you know, maybe they have more of a choice, or maybe their clients just aren't in the same position as your clients. And so you just have to do, you're taking, you know, in your heart that you're taking the proper precautions and you're doing whatever you can to keep everybody safe. And that's all that matters. And similar to Jason, I've just stopped, you know, involving myself so much in social media, like in the particular groups. I mean, the groups are great a lot of times for just the advice and everything. But the moment I see a post about putting somebody down or just, you know, whatever, something negative, I just kind of scroll on. I can't read it. It just especially now, like I can't have negativity, any more negativity than I already have in my head. So I need to just move on.
Great. Jason, you have another question or issue or some, you know, some topic you'd like to discuss?
I guess
I
for
just,
me, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry. I guess for me, like the biggest challenge I'm having is making sure that my teammates are inspired and kept in a positive headspace, even when some days I'm not. Just keeping them positive and moving forward. That's been like the biggest challenge. Like we're all having ups and downs, but I feel like when people go into fear, they just stop doing everything, right? And that's not what we want to do. Even if we're just showing up and asking our clients how they're doing, you know, that's still doing something in the right direction, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But keeping in a positive mind space would be like, how are you guys doing that?
For us, we're just trying to focus on the things that we can control. So right now we're really looking at all of our agents' branding, just the systems that everybody has set up. I mean, those are the things that are in control. Those are the things that typically get put on the back burner when we're going full speed through our business. And so we're kind of piecing those, you know, each week and trying to focus on one area. If an area needs more focus, then obviously we'll take the time, but just really delving into those parts of your business that typically get neglected, I find really helps us to move forward and feel like we're making progress on something. And then just being able to talk to each other about, you know, a specific part of our business and getting feedback from other people has been really helpful too. So that's what we've been doing.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I just try to cut out the negativity. If it's on Facebook, I try to unfriend people or ignore their posts or delete posts that are bad that are in, you know, the rookies group or something, just because like there's no point. I don't know. I really try not to delve on the negativity. So I just like dealing with positive people and chit chat with positive people about positive stuff. I mean, maybe it's pie in the sky idealistic, but like I just find it works better for me. So that's all I try to do. Try to keep gratitude in mind, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jason. No.
You know, we're just trying to stay top of mind here. We've done a lot of community pages on Facebook and using that Quick Page forum. This weekend, I'm trying to put together of course, Spring Home Show was canceled, so I'm trying to get all the vendors together on a Zoom call and go live on, you know, the event organizer's Facebook page and do a Zoom home show. I mean, there's no reason why people can't walk around their equipment or their services with a video camera, give each person, you know, 5 minutes on the mic and let consumers answer their questions. And again, you're helping the community, you're promoting local business, and you're staying top of mind. I mean, these are all things that we can do in and on our business and without having to sell property.
Yeah. And I was going to say, same as all of you with keeping positive and, you know, staying away from all the negativity. But at the same time, like our office, my broker of records, she has 2 times during the week, on a Tuesday and a Thursday, that we would do a Zoom call. And we would just hop on and talk about our challenges and you know, if there are things that we need help with. And it's really great to be able to just talk to your colleagues that you're not seeing anymore and you're not going into the office, and just brainstorming. You can come if you want, you don't have to come, or I mean, you can sit down for the Zoom call or don't, whatever, but the option is there and it's happening twice a week. So that's fantastic. personally, on the other side, for my clients, I have a Facebook group for my clients. I become friends with whoever is on Facebook. So they're all added to this group. And I try to just, once a week, I'm posting one video of, checking in, how are you doing? If you need to chat or do FaceTime or Zoom, whatever, I'm here because we're all dealing with the same thing. So let's just, keep it bright and positive and keep in touch, because if you're anyone who's like me, who's an extrovert and needs that interaction, I'm happy to get on a call anytime. And then I'm putting information as much as possible. So Katie, I used your information actually that you posted about the emergency fund, and posted it in the group saying, apply this week for the next pay period, for the next period. There's somebody who developed a website for wait times for grocery stores. So I posted that in the group saying, hey, check this out, if you're going out. And then as always, I'm here for any of my clients who are feeling unsafe to get out of the house. I'll go and do your grocery shopping. Just let me know.
That's great.
All right. Next question. Anybody? Jason, do you have anything in particular? No.
I'm good. Just listening, soaking it in.
All right. Katie or Melissa, any other question?
Well, I guess I mean, one thing that I think this group would be really good for, amongst other things, but the community part of our business. For us, we just opened our brokerage office in Vaughan a couple years ago. We've lived in Vaughan for, I guess, 7 years, but we typically focus, or I guess our work is more so downtown and in Toronto, but we want to establish our brand and our brokerage within the Vaughan market more so. So we've been getting onto Nextdoor and wanting to do more community features, but I'm curious what has worked really well for you guys in terms of a community focus and getting yourself out there, either as an agent or a team or whatever it is.
One of the things we're doing with our to kind of integrate like our clients, we're doing a trivia night. We did one already, but how we're integrating the community kind of side of it is that the prize is for a local restaurant, and then we're also, for each person participating, we're donating a canned unperishable good to our local food bank. So it's a great way to kind of integrate the two.
Yeah, that's great. That's a really good idea.
I haven't really done much in terms of my community that much. Right now I'm working more towards a small business kind of networking kind of thing. So I'm just reaching out to those people for that particular segment, because I do feel that the commercial are going to be suffering quite a bit. Restaurants, small businesses, that kind of stuff. So I think there's going to be a lot of leases that are going to be up soon, and then a lot of plazas and stuff that need to be sold. So I'm just going towards that direction. Other stuff I've heard, people have been doing a lot of, for example, what restaurants are open or what services are open. They're doing that as a community thing, which I thought that was pretty good. I saw that yesterday, and I thought that was a really good idea. It takes a lot of work to execute, to get that going, to get people in the group and talk to all the small businesses. But I thought that was a great idea.
It's quite simple to get it going. Your local Chamber of Commerce should have that list already. Most people don't realize that. And the Chamber is not usually really good or spending money on Facebook ads themselves. So you can get the list from them. I did this with QuickPage once, put a community page together, looked at that list of names. I didn't do them all, only because I want these people to reach out to me too. As another way of staying top of mind. But, what you can add websites to QuickPage, you can add menus, you can do all this stuff, and I did that. And as a matter of fact, I think I mentioned to you, Lawrence, 2 weeks ago, I had somebody reach out through QuickPage off that community page saying, hey, are you still listing during COVID? And just the way it was worded, I was like, okay, this is a realtor who's going to now, tear a strip off me. And I replied, I said, who is this? And would you mind texting me? And sure enough, it was a young guy whose 80 or 85-year-old parents needed to move, and he was reaching out to have his house listed. So again, that's the work of a community page.
Yeah.
I posted a whole bunch of stuff on Instagram for people to basically tag businesses that they're that are doing like porch drop-offs or like curbside pickups and things like that. Mostly it goes with food services, but a lot of them are, you know, gifts and stuff that you could buy. And then the office created a contest. So we're running 3 weeks of contests for people to tag their favorite businesses. And then we would buy $100 gift certificate from one of the businesses.
Okay. That's
So
good. Yeah.
That's good, yeah. Yeah, and you got to be careful too that what you're doing isn't going to be perceived in the public eye, right? Like a lot of people were doing these, paying a photographer to do porch portraits, right? Drive by and stand out on your porch. Well, then I saw the other day a photographer said, I'm staying home and I'm not getting into this because it's unsafe, and our Photographer Association of Canada says we should stay home too. So some of these promos that we're doing, you got to be careful too that you're not treading on thin ice. So
Yeah, it's tough to know where the line is in this environment. Like it's just so many different value judgments and different opinions about what you should and shouldn't do. It's tough because, you know, social media, you get crucified real quick.
huge. There's a few agents that have been likely have gone to the same lead generation seminar, and some of these things that whoever the coach is teaching them to post, the backlash from it is ridiculous because, you know, go after the listing at all costs is basically, I think, what they're being taught. And, you know, using COVID and using hashtag COVID is, we had a realtor up here, COVID friendly property. Like, what's that mean? COVID friendly property because it was vacant land.
oh,
Hello. Yeah. So you got to be careful too.
I will add though, because I did learn about Quick Pages from Jason, that I thought it was pretty good. I've been using it only for about a week. I've sent out quite a number of videos. I mean, everyone here has gotten a video from me through the Quick Pages. I like it better than the other one I'm using, both BombBomb and CoVideo. I mean, price point wise, similar, but if I could replace one of those with this particular one, I think this one has a little more value because you can sort of add in other links like my videos or PDFs or whatever it is, right? So it's better for a landing page, I find, than the other videos, like the other video platforms. So I thought that was pretty good. That's just a side thing.
Yeah, I was so impressed with the email you sent out. I was showing Daniel, I'm like, look at this. You can scroll to the top of the videos. It was amazing. I'm like, I'm going to look into it now because it looks really great, really professional.
And let me know, I can walk you through it.
Sure. That would be great. Yeah. Any other technologies or apps that you guys are using that are helpful at this time?
I'm using a lot of Zoom.
Yeah.
Tons of Zoom. I mean, I did upgrade it to the whatever so that I could record easier and talk to more people and it doesn't cut off after 40 minutes. I find it's a pretty good platform. I mean, this is sort of what I'm using both. I mean, I've done poker games with friends from around the world with Zoom, just we're playing on the side while chit-chatting, right? I've done, you know, other Zoom things like that, you know, with family when we're having dinner, that kind of thing. So it's the only other technology. I've done a buyer's presentation through Zoom. So, I mean, it's kind of awesome because going forward, you know, I can get used to this. If this is a type of technology I can use so that I don't have to get in the car, drive across the 401 and talk to somebody, I mean, that'd be awesome. So I think it's cool.
We, I had a listing yesterday that was due for offers yesterday. And my fingers were crossed that I was going to get multiples because I wanted to set up the presentation in a Zoom meeting to see how it would go. So, you know, I preset the Zoom meeting so that everyone would be in the waiting room to come in. And my plan was to have the sellers there in the room and then let one agent in and then kick them out, let the next agent in, kick them out, let them all present. Unfortunately, I only got one offer, so I couldn't do it. But I mean, that's the future too, I think. And the beauty part of that is you have a recording now for Rico if there's ever anything brought up for you against you, you know, for a multiple offer situation. You have proof.
Yeah.
That would be super cool. Too bad you
Mhm.
got only one offer, because I would
I
have
know.
loved to
It
see
was a good
that.
offer though. It was still good, but yeah.
Did you still have that listing agent present on?
No, she
No.
didn't want to. She figured that no point because there's no other offers. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I just sent it to my folks and we chit chatted.
Great. Just curious, what is the amount of advertising you guys are doing, both print or online or that kind of stuff? I've pretty much cut down my print advertising. I guess it's more just because I don't know if it's like the right time. I mean, I do a little bit of Facebook ads, but that's mostly branding. Like it's not really in your face, sell your house kind of thing. Just curious where the
Going
line
back,
is for each of you, or what you've been doing.
going back to being judged. So 0, not spending any money on advertisement
Yeah,
at
for sure.
all.
I used to do, sorry, interrupting you again.
It's like a conspiracy, so Jason won't be able to talk at all, right? But anyways, we were doing advertising on Facebook through Just Sell Homes. So we're still running our property ads, and we even bumped up the budget for those homes we do have listed because we're just trying to get it done for those people.
Mhm.
Also, we were building our email list beforehand, and now we're going to be dumping even more money onto that, going onto Google. But that was more to push out like Milton Daily Homes and Sold Watch, which is a great way to communicate with people about what's happening in the market. So it's better time than ever to build those email lists. So we're actually spending a bit more money.
Yeah, we're just doing branding on Facebook and Instagram right now. No print advertising at this point.
I don't do print anyway, other than 3 mail drops a year with postcards, and that's it. I don't advertise my listings in the paper. Everything is done social. I ran an open house, live stream open house ad last week, and then I just ran that ad the other day, like I mentioned, about just trying to not get back at the other agent, but let the agent or let the population know in his area that there are indeed agents that are working and keeping people safe, and it's had probably about 5,000 clicks so far in 4 days. So you know what, it's good. It's, people know I'm out there. So
Are you doing your live stream open house this weekend?
am I doing one coming up this weekend?
Yeah.
I haven't advertised it, but I'll probably throw it on all of them because I have a quick page for each one, right? And I have my cell phone in my hand, and people can message, no problem. I mean, it's the same video they get when they click multimedia anyway, but I'm just using that feature just to keep it, and let Korea know that we are using it and sort of thing. But again, they're saying no face-to-face and any of that, but then they're promoting going out to the house to do a live stream. You're still going out, and I know we're going out to get exercise and walk and this and that, but it's almost hypocritical from the boards to say now we have a live stream feature, so go back out, right? So that's why I'm using QuickPage. It's a one-shot deal.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone doing the actual going and doing other, I mean, Jason's doing the quick pages, but actually doing an open house with virtual tour of the property while you're there, since the option is available to us?
We were looking into that, into the live stream option. The whole thing is I haven't seen one done effectively. Like you're physically going to the open house, which you mentioned, it's like, why, right? Like you're physically going to the house, and then you're waiting for people to show up, right, during the allotted time, which I'm waiting to see someone do that effectively. I haven't really seen that yet, especially considering you can just plug in your virtual walkthrough that you did one time when no one was there, and people can go and look at that instead of you having to sit there for 2 hours and wait. So I'm keeping an open mind. I'm not quite getting it yet.
I think there'd have to be a lot of ad spend ahead of time. The other thing too is how comfortable, and I get we have 15, 20 people, if not more, down in the city through an open house at any given time, but you don't know each other, right, when you're walking through, versus you know, I can see Lawrence, Nita, Melissa, Katie are on this virtual call. People may not be comfortable, you know, with other people knowing their names and seeing them showing interest in that property, especially in a multiple offer situation.
Interesting.
I've not seen a virtual live stream yet. Not that I go around clicking on everybody's, but I haven't seen any even listed in my area. I'm taking advantage of it. I mean, I'm just going to plug in my link on every listing for, you know, 1 to 3 every Saturday and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how effective a virtual open house would be. Again, I don't have any listings right now, but it just didn't make sense to me. I mean, I would have to advertise it out and push it out to like my own sphere on Facebook. I don't know what the purpose of that is, right? Like, again, I'd have to do an ad spend, like Jason was saying, to get out there for the people that don't know me to go take a look at my virtual open house when I'm there for 2 hours. Like, the whole thing doesn't seem very efficient.
Yeah, and then you have to put a sign out. And like, you see somebody like Jeff Grace there last week get nailed on hacks for putting out an open house sign. Nobody noticed it said virtual.
It's a virtual open house, exactly.
Yeah, and it had his QR code, but then everybody's jumping on him because he's got an open house sign, and the general public won't know, and they'll knock on the door. So.
Well, it does go on realtor.ca. Apparently, it's missing a button on the mobile version. Somebody said it doesn't say virtual.
The virtual is not on the app version.
Yeah, exactly.
And the only other thing with the virtual link, I put one on, you know, a week and a half ago when it first started, and that link is still there. So you have to go and physically remove your open house from the board to get that link off. So, or else it's going to show even the previous date. And I brought that to their attention. So hopefully they'll automatically come off after it expires.
But what I was going to get at is that just like a regular open house, in most cases, the traffic comes from people that went to realtor.ca and came to see the property at the open house. It's not necessarily the drive-bys who came and saw, hey, here's an open house, let's go in. Yes, there is that, but that's not where the most amount of traffic comes from. So having it on realtor.ca is, in my opinion, enough.
Oh, wait, no, it's back. It's back. I just opened it up. You see it right there, live stream.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
They must have just added it.
So that way you will still get the traffic. You don't necessarily need to spend thousands of dollars on ads on Facebook or Instagram to get people to it. Again, people that are on Facebook or Instagram are not necessarily the ones that are going to come to your open house. So having it on realtor.ca, I think it's the right place.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. It's actually, I just clicked on the one. And it actually shows the date, the time. You can add it to your calendar.
Nice.
Yeah, so maybe that's tonight. So I think maybe I'll click on that one at 4 p.m. and see what it does. I mean, this isn't a very technical agent as far as technology goes, so we'll see how he does.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That does seem a lot more useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any other issues to bring up or questions?
This was actually really good. I haven't been on it. I missed your last one. I've usually been on ones where people are there that don't have, you know, they're beginners, they don't have the skills. So this is actually kind of cool getting on with people that are of like mind and do great things. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. That's usually my goal. Like, I just like to just deal with other people where I can learn stuff as well and we can share. Anyway.
Yeah, no, this is great. Thanks for putting it together, Lawrence.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, sounds like we're mostly done then. Okay, well, anyway, thank you. Thanks everyone for showing up for this panel of Mastermind Platinum, whatever it is. We'll just sign off again. So I'm Lawrence Mack out of Mississauga, Ontario. Netta?
Netta Bolak, I forgot to say at the beginning, with Peak Professionals Realty in London, Ontario.
Jason Steele, Royal LePage here in Saugeen Shores, Ontario.
I'm Melissa Charlton from the Charlton Advantage team in Milton, Ontario.
And Katie Steinfeld from On the Block Realty in Vaughan, Ontario.
Excellent. Everyone want to wave? Take a picture of this.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
Everyone.
Bye.
Uh,